The 2000s were a wild time for the automotive world, a time of bold ideas, bizarre designs, and some very questionable decisions. In today's video, we're diving into the 6 most controversial cars of the 2000s, cars that sparked debates, turned heads, and in some cases, just left people confused. First up is the Chevrolet SSR, a car, or truck, or whatever it was trying to be. The SSR, or Super Sport Roadster, was Chevy's attempt at blending a convertible hot rod with a pickup truck. Inspired by late 1940s Chevy trucks, it looked cool, but that's where the positives ended for most people. Despite a 6.0L V8 in later models, the SSR was heavy, impractical, and extremely expensive, starting at over $40,000 in the early 2000s. It had a hard-top convertible roof that took up almost all the cargo space, making it neither a useful truck nor a true sports car. Critics blasted it for style over substance, and even GM fans called it a flop. Today it's a cult classic, but back then, it was a total head-scratcher. Next is the Chrysler PT Cruiser, a car that screamed retro and somehow became a hit until it didn't. Launched in 2000, the PT Cruiser's 1930s-inspired styling was unlike anything else on the road. It was quirky, fun, and actually won the North American Car of the Year award. But then came the issues: cheap plastics, sluggish performance, and reliability problems. As the years went on, people began to loathe it just as much as they once loved it. It went from nostalgic to embarrassing, the kind of car your aunt bought and regretted. Chrysler tried to revive interest with turbocharged GT models and special editions, but the damage was done. If there's one car that perfectly captured the excess of the early 2000s, it's the Hummer H2. Built off a beefed-up GM truck platform, the H2 wasn't a military machine like the original H1. It was a luxury SUV on steroids. People loved the commanding road presence, but the criticism came hard and fast. It got about 10 miles per gallon, was hard to park anywhere, and became a symbol of environmental ignorance. Celebs bought them, protesters keyed them. The H2 became a lightning rod in the conversation around sustainability. And after the 2008 financial crisis and rising fuel prices, the H2 quietly disappeared. In today's EV era, it almost seems like a parody, and ironically, the name is returned in the form of an all-electric Hummer. All right, quick pit stop before we move on to the next What Were They Thinking ride. If you're enjoying this trip down questionable car memory lane, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free, unlike the repair bills for some of these cars. And hey, got a controversial favorite I haven't mentioned yet? Drop it in the comments. I'm always ready for a good car debate. The Dodge Caliber was supposed to be a fresh new face for Dodge in the compact car segment. Instead, it became a prime example of what not to do. It replaced the well-loved Neon, but came with cheap materials, awkward proportions, a CVT that sucked the life out of driving, and uninspiring engines. Worse still, the driving experience was clunky and noisy. Interior plastics felt like they came from a dollar store, and even Dodge loyalists admitted the Caliber just didn't feel right. While it did have some neat features, like chilled glove boxes and an optional subwoofer in the trunk, it wasn't enough. It quickly fell out of favor, and Dodge replaced it with the Dart, another car that didn't last. Rare and almost mythical, the Renault Avantime is one of the weirdest cars to ever make it into production. Imagine a two-door coupe. That's also a minivan. That's the Avantime. Renault pitched it as a luxury grand tour for families, combining comfort, space, and style. But the bold idea didn't land. It had pillarless doors, a panoramic glass roof, and futuristic styling. But buyers were confused. Was it a coupe? A van? A spaceship? Sales were poor, and production stopped after just 2 years. But today, the Avantime is a cult classic. People praise its uniqueness and futuristic design, and it's become one of those cars that was maybe just ahead of its time. Last but not least, the Chrysler Crossfire. This was Chrysler's attempt to bring sporty style to the masses, co-developed with Mercedes-Benz during the Daimler-Chrysler era. Under the hood, it shared many components with the old Mercedes SLK. On paper, it sounded like a win, but the styling, especially the boat-tail rear end, divided car fans instantly. Performance wasn't terrible, especially in the SRT6 version with a supercharged V6, but its dated tech, reliability issues, and awkward proportions kept it from achieving success. Today, it's a cheap used car with Mercedes guts. But back then, it was a strange symbol of an identity crisis in Chrysler's lineup. From strange styling choices to misunderstood designs, the 2000s gave us a lot to talk about. These cars may have flopped at the time, but they definitely left a mark. Which of these controversial cars do you remember? Did we miss any? Drop your picks in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more automotive deep dives every week.